Hello, this is Martha with Living the One Light, and today I am feeling called to speak to and drop into the energies of the upcoming full moon in Pisces, which is happening next Monday, September 20th. And normally when I do these videos, I first record the public video and then I record a channeled version for my Patreon members. And today I was told to do it the other way around. Sometimes I do it the other way around, and I'm so glad I did it the other way around today, because I had all these ideas in my head about this full moon and Pisces, and some of it I still feel called to say, but when I dropped into prayer and into the channeling for this other video for my Patreon members, not surprisingly, very characteristic of Pisces and very characteristic of prayer and channeling, is that what I was essentially told was the ultimate point of all this is simply a reminder to be. And I was reminded, that essentially the ultimate healing of all things, emotional, physical, spiritual, energetic, anything, everything, is simply being. And specifically just simply being in the stillness and the nothingness of source, God, beingness itself, existence. So that slid me way down. Like, even just talking about it right now, I feel a part of me wanting to like switch into talking mode, like information mode. And then this reminds me, to come back into just being. And that's sort of a funny place to be when you're making a video, because I could just sit here and just be for a whole long time. That'd probably be pretty boring for you guys. But it is essentially really the point of these Piscean energies, and this, the ultimate reality of source itself, which is what Pisces relates to and what Neptune relates to. And so I feel called to say a few things around that. And if you, and I think what I'm going to do also, normally in these public videos, I don't channel, I save that for the Patreon videos. But I think in this one, I will do a little channeled version, or a little channeled section in a few minutes. Actually, they're saying do it right now. All right, so I'm going to drop in and see what they want to say, and then I'll say what I want to say if I still feel called to say it. This is very Pisces. Okay. So here we go. Hello, beautiful beings. Yes, we really wanted to speak through Martha right here and right now, because most of what we're called to say, we just want to be able to speak directly to you. So, as Martha was beginning to say, the human world and the human lives often have a lot of chatter and a lot of activity and a lot of momentum and urgency, a lot of sense that there should be action in a lot of different ways. And when you come up against an issue that perhaps feels like a problem or something that needs to be addressed, often there's a tendency to want to act in some way, to do something to solve the problem. And we want to give you this big reminder, which you already know, most of you, but the ultimate state of being that is actually the most helpful in a lot of cases is to come back to the state of simply being. And often that means letting go of doing, or at least letting go of doing until you do the being. Because it's in the act of the beingness when you remember your ultimate way of being, your ultimately who you are, who we all are. You're able to come back into right alignment with yourself. It's similar to an image of the dolls you might have played with as a child, the big blow up doll that you hit and then it rights itself. It's similar to that. It's that life on earth will often feel like it's hitting you or swaying you one way or another or multiple directions at the same time. And then when you give yourself space and time to simply be and to come back into the ultimate state of beingness as source, your body, your mind, your energy, your energetic body, all of you, your cellular structure, your cells themselves, all can come back into right relation with each other, right alignment with themselves, with source itself, and come into harmony with the ultimate state of being of all things, which is existence itself, the divine itself. And in this place, all is well. It really is all okay. This is the state of ultimate healing because there never was any unhealing that has ever happened. There's no time, there's no space. There's just perfection, wholeness, stillness, peace, deep, deep, deep peace. And earlier we channeled a series of videos called the Deep Peace and healing video series. 2 of them are free, and the rest are very affordable. And we encourage you to access those. Martha will provide the link because they are all reminders and experiences, examples of how to come back into this deep, ultimate healing state of being, this place of deep, deep, deep peace that so many of you are longing for, aching for, wishing for all day long, most of the day. It's right here, right now. It's you. It's your ultimate reality throughout all of existence, all the time. And it does not mean spiritual bypassing. It does not mean dissociating from reality. It means being anchored in both the Virgo, earth realm, body realm, your cells, yourself as a temple, literally, for this divine self that is you. They are integrated, they are whole, they are one, the Pisces energy is moving through the Virgo energy as you. They're connected constantly. They're in a polarity, and yet the polarity is a balance. It's an integration. It's not an opposites. It's an integrated whole. Your body breathes in spirit, breathes out love, breathes in forgiveness, breathes out peace. Your body is peace. Your body is the wisdom of the divine. Your body is a temple of the divine, literally. That's the Virgo and the Pisces integrated. You are grounded. You are complete. You are beautiful. This is what the new moon in Virgo 2 weeks ago spoke to. And then this Pisces full moon brings in the energies of the moon being full in Pisces, and yet the sun conjunct Hygeia, actually, highlighting the Virgo energies, the healing energies, the temple energies, the cleaning, purification energies. The sun in Hygeia grounding, sending this grounded, pure, beautiful light to the full moon, shining down over the world, bathing the globe in this integrated full moon in Pisces, yet the light coming from Virgo, shining down, bathing the earth, enveloping us all, reminding us how to be fully both. And again, how the ultimate peace, the ultimate healing is in the stillness, is in the ultimate beingness of the Piscean energy of Source itself. That is you. That is us. That is us all as one. Even as we live here on Earth, even as we move as these Virgo Earth bodies, which are these temples, grounded, breathing as Source itself in Earth temple bodies. clearing and cleaning, healing, constant healing. Think of how beautifully, if you've looked inside a cell, the mitochondria, all the micro inner cellular structures of every single one of your cells, every single one of the plant cells. It's beautiful. It's a literal living miracle. That one of their functions is to be constantly clearing and cleaning. And the light of source, the light of this Piscean energy comes through and clears and cleans this Virgo temple that is you and that is all of your cells. And the Virgo energy of the temple craves this and wants this constant clearing and cleaning so that she can be this pure, beautiful, reverent source of divine devotion to source itself and to yourself as source itself. So anytime you might feel worry, which can be very heightened in the Virgo time of year, or when there are high Virgo energies, or if you have high Virgo energies, also the Uranus energies, which have been very strong. If you're feeling worry, fear, anxiety, please take a deep breath and come back into this beingness, the wisdom that is the temple that is you, the wisdom that is the cells that are you, the mitochondria that are you. And the stillness, the beingness, the ultimate state of being, of healing, of source that is you, shining on this full moon for literally all to see and feel and be and remember, be bathed in the light of the moon coming from the sun and also from Hygeia, sitting near the sun at this time, giving us extra healing, extra cleaning, extra cleansing and clearing, bathing our temples as the Piscean energy pours through us, clears us out, holds us, cradles us, reminds us that we are simply beings, literally, of the divine. We're whole, we're perfect. We're so loved. We're so held. Always. And so it is. Amen. Well, that said about huge portion of what I was wanting to say, and it said it so much better than probably I would have said it. Okay. I might have to do that more often. Yeah, so I think there are two more things I feel called to say about this full moon and the energies coming up. So I've been working a lot on a 2022 journal that I'm writing. It's partly me talking, me, and partly channeled. And one of the biggest transits that I'm seeing so far in the year is Jupiter will be, in Pisces. It's going to enter Pisces just as 2022 starts. And it's going to be in Pisces through a big portion of 2022. But on April 8th, I think it is, Jupiter is going to conjunct Neptune in Pisces, which it hasn't done in a very long time. So the energies of 2022 in general feel very filled with this Neptunian, Jupiterian, Piscean energies. And Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces. Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. So that's a lot of repeated kind of magnified energy of a similar nature. And so far what I'm feeling as I drop into that, and then it's reverberating with this energy of this full moon in Pisces, obviously, too. So as I feel into that, I feel a lot of different things, but the big one is that clearly this moment in time has a lot going on, has a lot of us all, like a lot of things being unearthed, especially with Pluto being in Capricorn, and then, last year in 2020, lots of other planets were in Capricorn. And so it's like this unearthing, this dredging up all these things about the Capricornian structures of our world, of our lives that are not working, are outdated, aren't in alignment with where we are meant to go now. And so that's been very unnerving, unsettling for most of us, most people, in a lot of ways, on all kinds of levels of life. And what I feel is, with this Jupiterian, Neptunian, Piscean infusion that we're going to be getting all of next year, and I mean, we're always getting it, and this full moon in Pisces certainly is one of those moments when we're getting extra boost of that energy. I feel it trying to give us an opportunity to essentially like be held at a really high vibration, a really high energy level. And like, the spirit said in the channeled meditation just now, or the channeled version of the message, this is not about spiritual bypassing. It's not about dissociating from the world. It's about coming into a part of ourselves that is more than we perhaps have been accessing up until now. Or I can say in my own life, for example, I spent most of my life in a very grounded world. I was, straight A, national merit, whatever, blah, blah, in high school, and went to a good college and really good grad school, and was a social worker and a psychotherapist and that kind of thing. Very grounded, helping the world in a high quality way for up until I was, 42. Now I'm 44. And then when I was 41, I started getting sort of, in no uncertain terms, told that I needed to expand the way that I was living my life. I mean, my life was, there's nothing wrong with the way I was living my life. It was good. I was helping a lot of people and doing really good, solid work in the world. But as I've been told over and over and over again over the last 3 years, there is this expanded way, much bigger way I'm being asked to come into myself and into my work in the world. So I went from being a social worker, a therapist, and also actually I was also a body worker, these hands-on ways of working with people, addressing real needs in the world, to expanding and opening myself to the world as not only a mind, not only a heart, but also me as a spirit and a soul. And I started being essentially told I needed to come out, come out as my spiritual self, not just as my grounded, intellectual, social worker self, whatever you want to say. And I feel myself now actually even being asked to come out even more. It's like, haven't I exposed myself enough? Nope, apparently not. Because there's one analogy that I use a lot, which is, it's like in psychotherapy, in neuroscience, we often think about the different parts of the brain, and how in trauma response, we often will only be in our hind brain, right? In our instinctive mind that will operate in fight or flight mode, will fight or flee or freeze. And that part of our brain is very limited. I mean, it serves a really important function, but it's very limited. And then when we are more able to relax and feel safe, we can come into our whole brain, where, our frontal lobe and like our whole brain can access parts of ourselves that can see the whole picture, can think ahead, can strategize in ways that are really, really important, and come up with strategies that we wouldn't if we're in just our fight or flight mode in our hindbrain. Okay, so then what I've experienced as I come more fully into myself as a being of the divine, not just a being of, the mind and heart and body, is that when we are able to access ourselves as beings of the divine and ourselves as beings of source itself, which we literally are, then it's like our brain goes from, hindbrain to like whole brain, to our whole body, to our whole being, to all of existence. It's like, so existence becomes an extension of us, because it is, but we're able to access ourselves in that way. And then that's when so much more comes through. so many ideas come through that wouldn't. I mean, that's Einstein. It's like perfect example. He supposedly said he didn't access most of what came through for him and his theories through his rational brain, or we know he didn't sit and do like scientific experiments with chemicals for much of, his theories that are being shown more and more to be true. So he accessed this, what you might call collective unconscious, through his thought experiments. And I feel like a lot of us are being called into being as our whole beings more and more and more. And that's what this Piscean, Jupiter in Pisces, Neptune being in Pisces energy is really trying to essentially up level us. I mean, that's so cliche, but like, that's really what it feels like to me, is like, we're not done up leveling clearly as a planet, but even as individuals, even those of us who feel pretty tapped into that part of ourselves, I think we're being called higher and higher and higher and bigger and bigger and bigger, and to be more and more integrated into, again, this, this Virgo temple that is us, like to be fully in our bodies, fully in our sexuality, our sensuality, our whole human life being as we're breathing and flowing, with the light of the divine and the breath of the divine and the Shiva and the Shakti, all as one, if you know what I mean. I'll say more about that in other videos, but the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the light, the spirit, the earth, yeah, energy of source itself moving in all ways as us, as earth beings, like in our full beauty, in our full capacity as beings on this planet. Yeah, so that's one of the huge energies I feel coming over the next year. And then the last thing I want to say about these Piscean energies, it's also related, I would say, to Aquarian energies, probably. But I recently, last week, made a video with a friend of mine, another astrologer, on the energies that we both experience and have experienced most of our lives, with beings of infinite realms, right? So it's another, this is sort of on my edge of coming out in the world, is that I really feel that we are being called to not only expand ourselves as beings of the divine, but also to begin to consciously and concretely be in constant dialogue and co-creation and harmony and love and beingness with an infinite array of beings of other dimensions, of so many realms of existence. I can't count them. There's so many, so many that I experience all the time and that help me all the time. I'm almost crying talking about it because it's so profound for me. But I feel that coming too in this, this year of moving more and more into this Piscean set of energies, is that we're really not alone. I mean, really not, truly not. And I'm saying this as someone with a very rational mind, very scientific mind. Again, like Ivy League type education background and all that. So, yeah, there's just, I can say more about that in other videos as well. And you can listen to the latest video I made with my friend last week. But I'm in constant friendship with and dialogue and healing experiences with, you name it. Like big in my life are these ocean beings, ocean spirits. I live walking distance to the ocean in California, and they are amazing. They do actual literal healing with me. I mean, with me with clients, but also on me, like on my own body and my emotions. And star beings, what you might call like ET, extraterrestrial beings, fairies, elves, gnomes, that, all these things that are talked about in myth, in my experience, are real. And there are parts of the world where, like in Iceland, where a lot of people actually, they are treated as real. The government of Iceland treats elves as real. It's amazing. I love Iceland. I highly recommend going there. It's beautiful. But yeah, and more and more and more, I feel them, coming into my world and really saying, these barriers between the dimensions need to, they've been put there. The way that I've been told is that they've been put there because humans have mistreated these other worlds so drastically and so terribly. And so there's like a caution, you know, and I feel a protectiveness of them and a caution with it. But I'm feeling nudged more and more to talk about it. And because I think that they're really wanting to integrate, like it's a time when we need all the help we can get. And this is a co-creation with the earth herself, and with ourselves as beings of all these dimensions, etc. So yeah. And I speak as them in Living the One Light, the first book that I channeled that's on Amazon, and then Gaia Speaks with the second book in the series. The Living the One Light series also mentions them. And they'll be speaking much more in the seventh book, which is going to be called Crystal Speak, but that's going to be down the line. I'm not quite there yet. I'm still sitting with the fourth, fifth, and sixth books. So, but that's coming in the future. And if you're interested in that whole set of topics, let me know. I would love to nurture that in you or hear your experiences. And it's certainly still getting something I'm steeping in and getting nurtured by the spirit world all the time. Such a gift to me to have the ability to live, you know, steeped in that awareness too. Huge part of how I navigate life on earth. So I'd love to help you cultivate that if that feels like something that's calling you. So anyway, I think those are all the things I feel called to say about this full moon. It's a really, really beautiful energy. And yeah, feel free to join my Patreon membership if you feel called to support these messages. And if you want to get support for you, it starts at $3 a month. I would love for you to check out this deep peace and healing video series that was mentioned earlier in this video. And it's a set of 6 videos. 2 of them are free, and the whole set is very affordable. I think it's about $45 for the whole thing, something like that. But I'll put the link here, and the link is also on my website at livingtheonelight.com. livingtheonelight.com. You can reach out to me at livingtheonelight@gmail.com. And I would love for you to sign up for my free email newsletter, also at livingtheonelight.com. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel. That'd be great. Okay, I think that's everything for now. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. I'd love to hear any reflections, anything that moved for you, or anything you want to share. Thank you. I'll see you again soon.